on the road. Time to roll out.
Aloha and welcome to Dandy High Tank's Tanker Profiles. This is our very first episode of the Tanker Profile, and what I wanted to try and do with this series is do something a little bit different. Most people who are doing reviews and stuff with World of Tanks Blitz online are doing primarily tank reviews and map reviews and tips and tricks and stuff about the game. So I figured, well, there's more to the game than just the technical aspects and the tanks and features and stuff like that. There's also the human element. So with the tanker profiles, we are going to be delving into who the players are, especially who the players are that platoon with me, and who you can find on Dandy High Tanks. So our very first episode, luckily he's our guinea pig, will be From Russia with Hate. Now that's a strange tanker profile name, and as you find out, there's a bunch of funny, strange tanker profile names in World of Tanks Blitz. So anyway, believe it or not, he's not from Russia. From Russia with Hate actually comes all the way from New York City. So I met him on the NA server, and he was referred to me by another player, D's Nuts. And so yes, that is another funny profile name. But he's actually from Russia, is actually one of the better players that I play with. Most of the players that I do platoon with are definitely better than me. So these are sort of the people who are mentoring me and giving me tips and tricks on how to play World of Tanks better. And so if you're interested, stay with us, find out a little bit more about From Russia with Hate, and tune in to our live stream platoon battles every night. Because there's definitely a lot to be learned here from these more experienced players. So with that, let's jump into our interview with From Russia with Hate. All right, so From Russia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I started playing World of Tanks when I was maybe like a year ago. I got started because like everybody at school started playing it, and I got in a little bit late, but I kind of played it.
And did you have any idea what the game was about, or did he have to explain it to you?
No, it just looked fun, so.
If you've only been playing it for a year, you're kind of like not a newbie, but not a veteran also, right? Yeah, you play like a veteran. That's why I'm kind of surprised that you've only been playing it for 1 year, because some of the other guys that we platoon with, they've been playing for like since the game came out, which was like 3 years ago. So that's kind
Yeah, I
of
wish I played earlier. I wish I kind of played earlier so I can get some of the other tanks.
all right. Hey, did you have any mentors or anybody to kind of help you learn the ins and out of the game, or did you kind of just learn it all on your own?
I learned it all on my own. That's why my stats aren't for that account isn't like all that great. That's why my win ratio's not as good as I would like it to be.
Right. So okay. So we went over that earlier. So you have a 54.35 win rate. So at what point did you see your win rate start to go up?
Well, I've always had it around 52 or 3%.
Mm-hmm.
And just actually recently, in about a month, you can even ask D's. It's literally jumped up like 1.5%, which I'm
And
really excited about.
and so that's is that attributed to like playing a certain tier level, or just certain tanks that now that you've kind of settled into and that you got like your favorite tanks?
Yeah, it's probably settling down with tanks because I've become really good with a lot of tanks.
All right, and we'll talk about the tanks a little bit later on because I kind of want to go through that with you.
Okay.
Okay, so how many hours a week would you say you play? Like maybe at your peak when you put the most amount of time into it. What was the peak amount of time per week you would estimate you spent on this game?
Oh man. More than like 8 hours a day.
Oh my
So
God. Because I know for you, so I'm in Hawaii, you're on the East Coast, and so when I'm streaming, it's super late for you.
yeah. So it takes a
So,
lot for me to stay up, be able to play with you. Either I end up sleeping early, or I just end up like getting like into the game, and then you start getting on, and then I stay into it.
right, man, so I'm assuming you're not playing as much as you did when you were peaked out.
Oh, that depends on how I'm feeling. Like if I'm most of the time I'm literally like I'm too tired to play too far into the night, so
Yeah.
I'd probably say about maybe like 4 or 5 hours about a day,
Oh,
because I still
okay.
play when I get home.
What are your current goals now for this game?
Well, actually, they're still the same because my goals are to keep getting to the next tiers,
Mm-hmm.
and I probably actually would have set like all my goals already, but I like to do multiple tank lines at once. Right now, I have 4 tier 9s. Yeah, it's just
From 4 different countries or?
let's see, 3 of them are from Russia, and the other ones are and the other one's from Germany.
Okay. And so do you see yourself kind of working eventually going through all the countries, or are you just happy um, with a
Yeah, I'll be
couple of
going
countries?
through all of them
Yeah. Oh, okay.
here
So,
soon. I'll have a UK tier 9,
oh,
the
okay.
Centurion 7-1.
Did you think it was going to take you a year, or how long did you think you would be sticking with this game?
Um, a while because I liked it a lot, and there's a lot to do in it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you pretty much had long-term goals from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm kind of new, and my goal right now is just to pick two tanks that I like from each tier. But I can easily see myself expanding that in the future. Just because there's so many, there's way more tanks than I had thought they were when I first started the game. So I think,
Yeah, I personally think the higher you get up, it gets more fun.
yeah, okay, okay. So what do you do when you're not playing World of Tanks?
Sleeping.
So this is pretty much your recreation. This is like the stuff that you have to
Just my
do, and this
relax.
is the stuff you just want to be doing.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's go into the gear section. Um, so what do you play on?
I play on a Samsung Galaxy Note 4,
Okay, so you're playing on a
a
large
phone.
phone size device.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's I would consider that like a small a small device. Um,
Yeah, it's a small device.
have you tried playing it on a PC or even like a tablet?
No, not really. I'm pretty happy with a phone because then I don't have to look because this actually is like a perfect size if it's to where my thumbs can move just the right amount and everything.
Right. Okay. So would you say like have you encountered any problems using that like a mobile device? Because we've had a couple people, I think Vincent and Azroth, their phones like died in the middle of a battle.
Yeah, I mostly whenever I end up playing, I mostly play at home, and I
Hmm.
always have it on a charger so that way it doesn't die.
Oh, okay.
The only problems I normally have is like sometimes my button gets repositioned, my shooting button gets repositioned, and I end up shooting on accident, and that really screws you over in the game,
Right,
especially
right.
when you have a long reload.
Oh, okay. Do you ever play like out and about with public Wi-Fi, or are you pretty much playing at home on your home Wi-Fi?
Sometimes if like there's a tournament or something coming up and I absolutely have to get on it, yeah, I will,
Yeah.
or else my phone will end up draining down really fast.
How long do you think you can play before your battery dies if you just play off the battery?
I I think I got about like an hour before it dies.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's actually not that many games, though, right?
If you just go nonstop game after game, that'd probably be about maybe 20.
Can you talk about like the clan that you belong to?
Alright, well, I'm in SOPs, and we have 3 sections right now, which I'm clan lead in one of them. But one we have for basically very active people, and then one's for recruitment for getting people into that active one, and also and the third one is our elite, to where it's 16 above, and that's the one I'm clan lead in. I have a different account for that one, but the second one, like I was talking about, the recruitment one, that's the recruitment for the active and the elite people.
Oh, something I forgot to ask you in the introduction. How much
Oh yeah,
how
what's that?
much actual money have you spent? Like just generally, like estimating.
So far, I spent $0. I've
Oh,
been
so
pretty
you
lucky.
grinded out everything.
Yes,
Wow.
I've been lucky because I've had a friend who's given me money to use on the account, and actually coming up here soon, I will be using some of my own money to if we're getting one of these like new premium tanks that are coming out. But that's only gonna be like
Yeah. So,
$25. But
dude,
I
you're
think that's a lot better than a lot of other people.
yeah, yeah. So, dude, you were sponsored then. Your friend sponsored you.
Yeah, that was really nice of him because that's how I got my favorite tank it's the SU 12244. That
Oh,
tank's
dang.
like a beast. It's a really good credit earner too.
Man,
Actually, I'd say that's my second favorite tank.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, that's a quick way to go and, because grinding the tanks, I mean, I'm finding out that grinding the tanks, it's pretty quick until you get to like maybe like tier 5 or 6, and then it's like gets really, really slow.
Well, actually, it went fast for me through all those tiers, so I got up to tier 8. 8 is when it
Right.
starts getting slow for me,
Right, because you have to
and it
win
really
the battle in order to maximize the credits and XP, right?
well that or do really good in it because there's times if you do really good, you'll get like 1,000 XP anyways.
Right, right. Wow. Oh, I'm kind of surprised that you haven't spent any money on that. That's pretty good. Because that's kind of what I'm trying to
Yes.
do. Like the money that I'm putting into the game is not really to purchase anything in the game other than like small stupid stuff like camo and garage slots. But my goal is not to buy any tanks with gold. So either I'm winning it through
Yeah.
like promotional type stuff or through like the containers or treasure chests or whatever. But the rest
Hmm.
of it is just grinding through to get the standard tanks. So and at the rate
Yeah.
I'm going, because I'm not as good as you are, my average damage per battle is pretty low. It's going to take me a while to get those tanks. How is important for new people, would you say, to be in a clan? Like, what's the benefits of being in a clan?
Well, you start meeting people that you're platoon with, and then eventually you'll find someone that you're really good with, and you should stick with that person because they'll help bring your win ratio up. They'll help get you tanks faster, and you end up getting clan supplies, which makes everything cheaper, and you get to buy more tank slots.
Right, right. And also you get certain types of tanks that are not available unless you're in a clan that reaches a certain level, right?
Yeah, a very good tank too.
Okay, so now let's go up to the tanks. Now, D's, and we'll talk to D's in a future interview, but he says that you're a walking, talking Tank-o-pedia. That's what he refers to you as.
I'm pretty good with the tanks. I can tell you like which tanks will be able to pin you, which tank like from which angles too. Like well, normally I can do it with myself, but it's kind of hard to tell you how to angle it. But I can also tell you which tanks, like how fast they'll reload, all that.
So how did you accumulate that much information? Because that some of that, especially like the armor profile, that's not in I mean, unless you're playing a lot, the
Yeah,
only other way is through the Armor Inspector, right? Which is a third-party
yeah.
app.
I don't really use that. All of mine is from experience. Like I've played a lot of battles, and then I just memorize like what they can pin, what they can't pin, what I can pin, what I can't pin. I remember all that, like what my reload is, what their reload is.
And
That
there's over 100 tanks, right, in this game.
yes.
So that's a lot of information.
It
So
honestly
are
doesn't
you
seem like that
studying
much.
this? Are you taking notes as you're playing, or how do you remember all of this stuff?
I just going up against so many of them.
So it's just purely through osmosis, just by playing, that you remember all of these things.
Yes.
That's pretty cool, man. Because that's super useful.
And it's especially on tanks that I have, I'll definitely know which ones I can where like they'll be able to pin me because I've seen through what I can see what I've seen what they're seeing.
Right, right. And also
So
like
I'll know
knowing where
what
your ammo is stored so you don't get ammo racked. That way you can turn your tank to the others, give them the other side to shoot at. Knowing where
yeah.
the engine is, knowing where your crew's located
And
in it.
I'm not sure if you know this or not. I told Dan these he didn't believe me till he actually ended up doing it himself.
Uh-huh.
But if you end up destroy like you know how like you shoot someone's ammo
Yeah.
rack and it goes yellow.
Yeah.
Well, if you can shoot the same exact spot, you'll actually ammo rack them before they fix it.
And so basically you'll ammo rack him twice in a row and then he'll blow up.
Yes, if you can get him there in the same exact spot twice before he can fix it, he'll
Uh-huh.
blow up. So
So
I'm
I
not
mean
sure if
that's
you
like
knew that,
super
but
useful
you do now.
for the tanks with really big HP. Because if not, you got to just keep shooting them over and over and over again.
Yeah, so that's a very helpful, and that's why the Leo is a very good ammo racking tank because
Right,
it
right.
shoots multiple shots fast.
Yeah, I also noticed with the Leo, because I kind of play it, I'm starting to play that a lot too, is it sets the engine on fire pretty easily for most tanks.
Because if you hit the same module twice, it'll end up destroying it or setting it on fire or blowing the tank up.
Right. And if they don't have the automatic fire extinguisher, or if they don't hit the repair kit quickly enough, it's just going to continue to drain their HP until they die, right?
Well, it drains them, but eventually it will go out.
Right. Okay.
Unless their like health is so low, then they'll end up dying. Yeah.
So let's go into what's your favorite type of tank? Light, medium, heavy, or destroyer?
I'm definitely a big supporter of heavies.
Yeah, I know that people say once you get to like the tier 9, tier 10, it's primarily heavies, right?
Yeah, there is a lot of heavies. You got a lot of heavies and tank destroyers.
Right.
The very few lights that you do have are the majority ones that I've seen is the Russian ones, the what is it? A32, I think it's what it's called. Don't quote me on that one because I don't really remember, but no, it's like a A140, I think. I don't remember, but there's two of them. It splits off from the T-54 to two of these other tanks, and they're both really good tanks. You see those a lot, and then you also see the Leopard 1
Oh, okay. So
in tier 9.
that's a medium tank or a light tank?
That's a medium tank.
Medium, right. What about in the mid tiers? What do you prefer? Because I know you do like the Leo. You guys play that a lot.
So in mid tiers, I still prefer heavies because it's more fun because you bounce a lot too.
Right. So what would be your favorite heavy tank at like the mid tier?
Mid tier, T150 would be my favorite.
And then for the higher tiers, the 7 through 10.
I'm definitely saying the IS-5. That's an amazing tank.
And that tank you can only get through your clan, right?
Yes, that's the tank that you can get through your clan. And if you spend another 1,500 and like I think it was 90, 95 gold, you'll get the awesome looking camo. That makes it look like it's all rusted out.
So
I didn't have enough gold for that. Yeah, I was happy enough to get it from the chest. I was happy enough to get enough for the tank.
Okay, so it sounds like your favorite country for the tanks is going to be like the Russian tanks.
Yeah, the Russian tanks are really good. And then for like that'd be my favorite premium tank. My favorite non-premium would be the ST1. Yeah, it's the KV line. It's the tier 9 tank for it. It's the tier 9 heavy tank for it. That tank's a beast. It takes a lot to you can go up against a lot of tanks and not be pinned.
Okay, so that you like that ST1 better than the tier 10 IS4.
I don't know. I haven't got the IS4 yet, so I can't really
that
say.
okay, right. So your only tier 10 is the premium IS5 that you got.
The IS5 is in tier 8.
Oh, that's a tier 8 tank.
Yeah. I'm
Wow.
about to get a Leopard 1. That's a tier 10. But other than that, I do not have any tier 10s yet.
And that line you went through the Leopard, the VK28, the Spic, and then you worked your way up that way to get to it.
And I took the RDU instead of the other one.
Indian Panzer.
Yeah, the Indian.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm definitely going that route as well. I have the VK2801 right now. And if I carry it all the way through, then I'll probably go get the Leopard 1.
It's definitely the best way to get to higher tiers faster because you fly through that line pretty quickly.
Right. Yeah, and I'm having a lot of fun playing those tanks too.
Yeah, they're all fast too. Even the Leopard PTA, they still got speed on them.
So I'm kind of surprised that you didn't go the Russia route for your tier 10.
I am. For the Russian one, I have I have actually 3. I sold my T-54 though. I have enough to get it back, but I'm saving up for a tier 10. But I have 3 tier 9s from it.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's only 5. There's only 5 tier 9s. So you have pretty much all of them.
I did have the SU-101, but the grind for the gun it's insane.
Mm.
The armor is actually worse than the tank below it, which kind of made me mad.
Right. But those kinds of tanks, the destroyer tanks, it's pretty much gun or nothing, right? I mean, you're just
pretty
shooting
much,
for the gun, right?
For that line, it's actually got pretty good armor. So does for the Russian line, the whole Russian tank line has pretty good armor, tank destroyers.
Right.
But except for that SU-101, that one, it really doesn't have any armor.
Okay,
At
so
least
that
not
one
that
I'm putting on my do not get list then, the SU-101.
For at least, I haven't been able to really get used to it yet. But the tanks after it, they're amazing.
So the favorite tank that you own is the IS-5, and the favorite non-premium tank that you own is which tank? The German tank?
The ST1.
Okay, so the ST1.
Mm-hmm.
What's the tank that you want to get that you don't own?
Oh, there's a lot. Let's see.
What would be your favorite?
I could think of just overall every other tank.
Yeah. It could be premium, it could be standard, or whatever.
It's actually a tie between the T-54 Mod 1 and the Type 59. They're both kind of the same. The Type 59 actually, I think, has better front armor.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But those would be
I do have the T-54 Mod 1.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
you got them both chests. Yeah. Lucky.
And I lose a lot of credits with that tank.
It's supposed to be a good credit earner.
That's what I hear. Everybody tells me that, but I lose a lot of credits with that tank.
You're probably not just used to high tiers yet.
Oh man, I get killed in those higher tiers. I mean, it really depends. I've had some decent games, but I think a couple days ago I had 2 tier 8 missions because of that stupid tank, and it took me an hour, and I think I have it on one of the live streams. It took me an hour to get through the two missions.
Well, I have a T-44, which is it's like that tank, but it has less armor.
Uh-huh.
I can show you how you need to angle it and all to help
Right.
you bounce more shots because it's really good for bouncing.
Yeah. So I mean
So I can teach
that's
you
what
if
I
you
do when
want.
I take it out. That's what I'm practicing. I'm trying to practice the angling and stuff. I still haven't gotten it down. I do try to practice a lot with my Kudomori because that one bounces a lot
Hmm
for its tier level.
I
But
don't care for the
the
Kuromori.
Yeah, you can bounce a lot of shots if you're in if you're in the same tier level. That's a tier 6 tank. So if you're playing against tier 7, then it gets a little bit, they can pen you no matter what. But
I mean, I got a master's on it already, so I'm kind of done with it. Really, I don't care for that tank.
yeah, yeah. For me, it's a good practice tank. But the T-54 Mod 1 traverses like super fast, so it's very sensitive. Like when you turn it, I mean, it'll just spin
That
around real fast. So that's the only
that's
difference.
actually a really good thing because if you do that, you can spin around and then move back real quickly, and then they'll shoot in the front of it, and then it'll bounce.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, whenever we start platooning, we can make a training room and I can teach you,
Yeah,
like
yeah, I would love that, man.
like
I need
show
I
you
need
and
more
all that.
practice with it. Again, that's far beyond my I'm just starting in my standard tanks. I'm just starting in the tier 6 level. So
Hmm
like tier 8 is like way above what I should be playing at.
Yeah,
So but it sucks when they give me those missions. I feel like I got to do it. So then I go and do it. I lose a lot of credits and it takes me a super long time to complete the missions. It's almost like it's luck when I
well,
pass the mission.
you end up getting over that. Like I'm over that. Like I used to be like, all right, there's a mission, I have to get it done. Now I'm just
Yeah,
like, I could care less. I'd rather grind.
right.
If I get it done, then yeah, good, happy for me.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on the fantasy and anime tanks that Wargaming is putting out now? Like, what do you feel about that?
So you're talking about like the girls and Panzer tanks and all
Yeah, and
them?
and like the Lupus and the Nameless, and I
Oh,
think
and the
they
Dracula
yeah, the
and
Dracula, the Helsing, and I think they also came out with another one which was from like the Gundam anime. Does
yeah, those are I like those tanks. I because it's great to have tanks that aren't really real life,
uh-huh.
because then it makes it a little bit more fun because you can have something else to play with, and
Okay.
they look really neat too at the same time.
Okay. Do you own any of them? Just the Panzer
I own
tanks?
all the girls and Panzer ones, but
Yeah.
I don't have the Tankenstein or anything else like that.
Right. Okay.
I would love to have the Hellsing and the T6 Dracula, but
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are like
I'll have to
awesome
wait
tanks.
till I heard. Yeah, there's a rumor that they're gonna redo them in Halloween. They're gonna make it to where you can get the T6, the Hellsing, and the Tankenstein this Halloween.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's a grinding
So
event because I'm not gonna pay for it.
yeah, it's a grinding event. That's how it was last time,
Oh,
but
okay,
I
cool.
wasn't there for it, so I can't wait for that.
Do you have any preference or thoughts about premium versus standard tanks?
It really depends on the person that's using it, because there's a lot of times where I've even proven that, like, people would think that the KB5, for
Hmm.
instance, is better than the KB4,
Hmm.
and I've literally proven them wrong by destroying them in the KB4.
Right.
But it really just depends on who's in the tank and how they're using it.
The tank
It's
by
also
itself doesn't mean that it's not going to guarantee
it's
victory, right?
necessarily better. No,
Yeah.
it's not going to guarantee victory. It just depends on how the person that's using it uses it.
Right.
Like, for instance, you can have a great tank like the IS-5 first. Like me and D's, we both have the IS-5. It's a great tank. He really sucks at it. I'm amazing with it.
Well, Deez is
His
kind of
like
a
win
light tank
ratio.
player, right? He's not really a heavy
Yeah,
guy.
D's is more for speed. He doesn't
Yeah.
quite. he's not quite on the side scraping and all that yet with the heavies.
Right.
Like he gets how to do it, but
Yeah, you need a lot of
he's
practice. I
putting
mean,
up the work.
either you get it, or like for me, people told me that early on. I didn't really understand what it was until somebody took me into a training room, and since then, people have showed me. But until I can actually do it myself and get the, because you got to get the feel of the right angle to present to the your opponent, and
It's not also just the angling, but you also gotta learn how to tease them. Like, because whenever you back out, it still shows like the front to where they can end
right,
up shooting. So you gotta learn how to pretend like you're about to back out and shoot, and but then quickly go back in, so they end up
right,
shooting your sides. But a lot of
right.
people don't fall for it too, so
Mm.
it really goes off that.
Yeah, so I definitely have a lot more to learn, and that's just one of those things like if you're not platooning with somebody and they're not, and you have nobody to teach you these things, I don't know how. I mean, it's gonna take you so long to get good at this game.
It only took me a year. I mean, come on.
Well, then you're figuring this stuff. Then you're like a natural when it comes to this stuff, because a lot of these things, a lot of these concepts, it was completely foreign to me. Like I thought I'd just go out there with a tank, and I had no idea you had to
Yeah,
angle and then I didn't
angle
know,
it.
like,
Yeah,
I didn't know the front armor has a different thickness than the side armor, and the turret has a different thickness of armor than, like other parts. So,
hmm
you know, I just went out there and got shot and had no clue what was going on.
that's how I was. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it, then that's when I started realizing that, all right, yeah, if that's how it looks like for me, it's how it looks like for that guy. So
Right.
I should base on how I move depending on how
Right.
I see
Oh,
them,
see, but
and then
you
imagine
were, see,
me.
you're smart enough to figure that out. See, yeah, I honestly, if nobody told me, I would never have figured it out. I mean, I would, to this day, I would be playing the same stupid way. And I see a lot of those guys out there, right? They're driving like, even at the tier 8 level, I've seen guys out at the tier 8 level, and they're just giving themselves like they're just presenting their broadside. And I'm like, dude, are you serious? You're just going to sit there giving me your side? And so I'm thinking they don't know anything about angling the armor.
Some people they end up buying their way into tier 8, so they really haven't gone through and learned, which is a key part of why they start you at low tiers like that, is so you can learn and get better at it, not so you can just jump in into a higher tier and just feel good about yourself and go at it.
So, okay. So talking about uh, like learning experiences, what's like the worst game you've ever had? Like what tank were you using, and what was the worst game you've ever
Hmm.
had where you just like got completely destroyed?
When I first got the E25, because I would try using it like a, because I don't know, I just get destroyed, like demolished in that tank, because I didn't quite understand, because I didn't know that it had a really good camo capability. Like you could be like right in front of the guy and he's still not be able to spot you. I didn't realize that, but with the E25, I hated that tank so much. I would just get like demolished in it.
You ever figure out how to play it?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot better at it now. It's also the same way with the Centurion 1. Like, you can ask Deez, I told him it sucked, it was like a bad grinding, it wasn't worth it. And then he got it, I already sold mine, and I decided to get mine back. And all of a sudden, I'm like amazing with it. Like, I've gotten 3 masters with it. On average, I normally get over 2,000 damage.
So what's an example of like the best game you've ever had? Because I notice in your profile it does show you having the 7 kill.
Yeah, the 7 kill, that was stupid, because I got it with a KV1. Deez was there too. He watched me get it. Cause, and I have yet to get a Masters in that KV1, but I
Hmm.
got all 7 kills. They're all like mostly most health. Like they had most health and like or half health. And I still didn't get the stupid freaking Masters for that tank. It's the only KV. It's the only tank in that whole line, that KV line, that I do not have a Masters for, other than the IS4, of course, because I don't have it. But
Wait, so
Every other
you
tank I
so
have a
you got
master's.
the Racini's, what, I don't even know how you say that. Racini's Heroes Medal, which is destroying 7 enemies in one battle, but you didn't get the Ace
Mm-hmm.
Tanker.
No, I didn't.
What the heck?
I already got that same medal. Actually, I got that medal twice already in my 60s account.
Uh-huh.
Because there's one where I destroyed people in the Martyr 3. The whole team, my whole team was full of noobs, and their whole team was full of noobs, and there's just me sniping them down one at a time. They literally couldn't find me till all of a sudden it was like the last guy, and I blew him up.
Yeah, I've
That
never,
was a fun. That was
I
fun.
haven't been able to do that, and when I see people with that that medal, I'm like, man, I just can't wait till I get one of those games. I mean, that's like a game to remember when you're responsible for taking out everybody on the other team. I mean, the
That where
other,
you're just a stealer, like you steal kills. Like
yeah, I mean,
there's
I don't
people
care.
that
I
like a
don't care.
bunch of them.
I'll steal kills. I got no problem stealing kills. But I mean, this is that one, and the other one is the Kolobanov's medal, where you
Which
stand
one's that?
alone. It's 3 against 1, and you kill all 3.
I've gotten a few of those with my my IS5.
Yeah. Well, in your account, I see on your from Russia account, you got 9 of these things. That's like ridiculous, man.
I've gotten a few with the KV4. I think I've gotten 1 or 2 with my ST1, and I know I've gotten a few with my IS5.
Right. And you could have
They're,
killed more than 3, right? I mean, they'll give you this medal if you kill 3 or more.
I've killed 5 people on my own, and
Oh
they've
my
given
God.
that to me.
That's crazy, man.
Which I wish they did have once where it was like you stand against 4, or you stand against 5, because then you
Right.
could actually prove it. Because all I have for my IS5 was those pictures I showed earlier on the screenshot.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that isn't really that could have been like, yeah, I could have said that I killed all 5 of those guys, but I didn't. But I have no way of proving it because I didn't record it
Hey,
either.
but you know what? If you can kill 3, if it's 3 against 1 and you kill all 3, you're just badass, and it's like it doesn't really matter. 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, what difference does it make?
The whole team, I mean, that's cool.
Right? I mean, you're just badass at that point. Okay, so let's go on to the online community. How important is the online community for World of Tank Blitz?
You mean like the people that are in it?
Well, the people in it,
Just like,
the chat feature that's in it, any kind of outside things like, for example, like the YouTubers and stuff like that. They're all kind of contributing to this community. When I first started playing these type of games, I knew that there were online games and you play other people, but it never dawned on me to be part of a community. You know, I would just
oh yeah,
go
yeah.
into play and then leave, right? But then ever since I started streaming and started platooning, it changed my perception of how important the community is. So, is that something that has impacted you while playing the game?
Oh yeah, it helps out a lot. At the same time, it can also make you really mad because you'll end up getting one of those people that end up like hating on you. Because either you end up like having a bad day and you mess up or something, and they get like
Right.
mad at you for doing bad, or they
Right.
end up getting mad at you for doing like really good and say you're hacking or something like that.
So there's
But
like peer pressure kind of thing going on.
now at that point, I just say like sometimes some people like say they end up saying like you suck. I'm like, yeah, I do. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Just look at my and then that's most of the time I look at their stats, and if they like start talking like crap or something on me, I'll look at their stats, and most of the time they're worse. So I'll be like,
Right.
just talk
Right.
to me when your stats get better,
Right.
and then after that they just leave me alone.
Yeah. So I mean, so the online community is kind of a double-edged sword, right? Like for me, I kind of feel like
Yeah,
the online community helps me progress quicker, but at the same time, there's a lot of negative aspects to any kind of community, whether it's online or offline.
yeah. It's always you always end up getting those people that are bad, but a lot of times you have ones that are good. That you have good communication, and then that leads to like a really good team and a really good battle.
So,
And not
okay,
all the time you win with that team, but it's still a great battle.
right. And that's to me that's more important. Like I love a great battle. I don't care if I win or lose, but man, if it goes down to the wire and there's some like awesome things that are happening inside of the game, like some awesome kills, yeah, I don't care who wins the battle.
Yeah, it's also great if you're one of those people that are doing like those. Whenever I get those last standing ones,
Hmm.
they're the people that would end up staying and watching and be like, nice carry, like good job carrying the team.
Right, right,
That
yeah.
that that makes you feel really good when you get one of
I
those. And I
wish
see
they
for
would
some
show
people.
like who's still in the game.
Well,
You know,
most of the
like
time they'll end up like talking, like saying you can do it or something like that. Most
yeah,
people that end
yeah,
up staying,
yeah. At least you know
and then
like
when
there's
you
an
actually end up,
audience, right? I don't know, maybe it's more
yeah.
pressure. I don't
No, I couldn't do it if there's like if we were end up talking to everybody in the that was there. I couldn't
right.
do it because then they'd mess me up.
Right.
I'd like people to. So like you have to stay quiet if you want me to do good.
Right. And you always get those like I'm one of those guys. You get one of those like backseat drivers. I'm dead, but yeah, I'm telling you, yeah, go for this guy, go for this guy.
D's does the same thing. Like I'm looking at one guy's like, go for this one. I'm like, what? I turn around and I get blown up the guy I was looking at. Like, oh well, it was good anyways. Who cares?
So okay, so have you made any quality friends through the World of Tanks community, like that you would consider to be like true friends, or do you just keep it like separate? That's just your gaming buddies.
There's only one person that's D's.
Yeah.
D's and me were like, he's like the only really quality friend I haven't really met him in real life, but we know each other. We can platoon together and we don't have to talk and we can synchronize and we can do like what we need to do. We know which tanks to go after without even talking about it.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. This is definitely like the first community that I've belonged to, and I've always been kind of a traditional like oh friends and you see face to face, but I'm kind of
Still gotta be careful
changing my
about.
perception now. Like yeah, I mean it. You know, I'm on here every night talking to people and getting to know them, and
Yeah, because there's like a lot of really nice people, but you still gotta be careful because you still have yet to actually know how they look and or what they'll do or something stuff
right,
like that.
right,
So you
yeah.
can't just open up to everybody.
Yeah, so that's why like, you know, even like this kind of stuff, I kind of want to stay away from like real names and I mean, it's just good practice when you're online. All right. So, oh, what tankers do you follow online? Whether it be Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch.
Just there's you and then there's D's. That's about it.
Oh, okay. So you're not following like Bushka or Mighty
No,
Jingles or those guys?
not really.
Oh,
Because most of
okay.
the time it's like I would like to. I'm more like to follow people I end up platooning with, or I'll actually end up getting to play with.
Hmm.
Because then I can like understand them more.
Right. So you don't go online to research stuff. You're primarily just learning stuff through the game itself.
Yeah, there's the only tanks I've ever actually gone online to research because D's is the one who's like recommended them to me is the SU 122. That's why I'm so good with it, and the E25. But those are the only two tanks I've actually watched videos on how to use them.
How did you stumble across my channel through D's?
Yeah, they're D's. He said he was because we were platooning one day and he started talking about like how he was talking to some guys who were making like live streams and all of that, and then he brought you up. I think he brought you and Tanks
Tanks
on
on
Blitz
Blitz?
or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he brought him up.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. I'm always interested. Like, hey, how do people come across my videos and stuff? All right. So I guess in closing, so what are your thoughts on the future of the game, World of Tanks Blitz? Like, what do you think? Where's this game going? Are you gonna go with it? How long do you think you're gonna be playing this game?
Well, I definitely would like to be playing it for like a long time. I hope that I would think that they're gonna start adding like more tank countries Because I know because I'm pretty sure there's others in just normal World of Tanks, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah,
There's a few other countries. Yeah,
yeah.
they're gonna start adding that. I'm not. I don't think they'll end up adding the artillery tanks because that would mean you'd have to have bigger maps, which would be bigger battlefields, more people in it. And I don't think. And this seems like a right amount of people because
What
there's no way you can end up going against a team of like 16 people
I
on
know,
your
right?
own.
On the small map, right?
Yeah, it's just not possible.
Yeah. What do you think? Like as far as your tanking career, are you participating in tournaments? Do you think that maybe in the future you might pursue more serious type of gameplay?
Well, I have a YouTube channel. I'm thinking I'm gonna try getting it to where I can start recording and start seeing if I can get people to follow me too. And start
Okay.
getting into that. I do tournaments. I already do I try doing as much tournaments as I can. Uh, Eventually, we'll end up getting into clans where we can finally get to where people are get active enough to where you can get enough people to get in a tournament. Because that's like the biggest problem we have
Mm-hmm.
is finding people to get into tournaments.
Okay, cool. Hey, so do you play any other games, or is this the only game that you play?
Yeah, I've tried other games, but I really just don't get attached to them. Or you end up or there end up games where if you like end up leaving for a day or so, you come back and everything's just destroyed, and it just makes it just not worth it.
Right. So
But
so
the
you're not
only other
really a
game
gamer.
is
You're just a tanker, right?
well, I like it depends. Like I do like playing like on my Xbox or PlayStation, but for phone wise and like apps and all that, yeah, this is the only really game I play.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so one final question.
All right.
If you and I were to go one on one, head to head, in a tier one tank, who do you
Mm-hmm.
think would win?
Definitely me.
All
Because
right.
I've got a master's on a tier 1 tank where I've done over 1,000 damage. For tier 1, that's extremely good.
All right. Grab a tank. Here we go.
Alright.
Time to roll out.
So we can do like best 2 out of 3 or just this one?
Well, it depends. If I lose, we'll do 2 out of 3. If I win, then it's just one.
Sounds fair enough. If I was Dandy, where would I go?
Where are you? Okay, you went to the flag. So you're in the town somewhere.
Where did you go? Jeez. This might be one of the longest battles in history.
Well, it's only, what, 6 minutes or so?
Yeah. I was like waiting for you to go through the town.
Where are you?
There you are.
Oh, no! Oh, crap!
His luck is going too good for you.
The engine is smoking.
Uh-oh.
Looks like it was gonna be best 2 out of 3, huh?
Another one like that should
Oh, yeah.
The truck is damaged. Penetration. Nice shot. Track fixed. Let's roll.
Oh, I think I got you. I think I got you.
Our track is hit. It could break any minute. Penetration. The driver is hit. We
Got me,
can't
huh?
go very
Oh, no!
critical hit.
Oh, man.
Ah.
All right.
You made a
Alright.
pretty good comeback there, though.
Oh, man, I thought I had you. All right, well, I guess that's it.